Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Disqualified. I am your NXT Predictions Champion, Trevin, joined as always by our main roster predictions champion, Caleb.
Hola.
And our cameraman and producer, Zach, is as always behind the camera, right now plugging in our camera.
Hello.
Yes, and we are here to talk about Friday Night Smackdown.
Yeah! If it didn't involve Cena, it was kind of mid, but the Cena stuff, cooked.
Cena always cooks.
Yep.
Along with his current stage partner of Ron Killens.
I brought a notebook for Cena's promo alone for his pipe bomb, so we'll get to that.
Yes.
When we get to that.
Yes, but first, we start with another man who's honestly real good on the mic. Like, mic skills top notch of LA Knight.
That's his best thing.
Yep. Calling out Seth and what Disqualified has dubbed them as BBL.
BBL.
Yep. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed.
Yeah. Bronson and LLC?
Yeah.
Or Braun and Bronson LLC?
Braun and Bronson.
Braun and Bronson LLC.
Yeah. But of course, LA Knight explains the whole situation on why he's getting involved.
Well, then I'll let you finish.
Yeah.
I have some little rumors.
Yeah. And LA Knight's basically like, they costed me my Seth costed me a Money in the Bank. So I costed Braun Breaker in his qualifier match at Raw. And then they costed me my qualifier match on SmackDown. So I costed the other one's match on Raw. And now we're in a whole mess that leads down to one path in this whirlpool. And that's me and Seth. So Seth, get your tuchus out here.
Yeah. But the rumors regarding this faction is they are looking to bring in potentially 2 more men into this faction. I think 2 men are bloated, but the 2 men that are in the running are one, Ricky Saints, and Ethan Page. And I think Ethan Page would fit in like a glove.
Yeah. That's also a War Games team, as we brought up with our Raw review episode.
I just think he fits like a glove.
Ethan does.
Yeah, if they want to bring him up to the main roster, this is where
he was main roster ready day one.
Mm-hmm.
You could just feel it. But yeah, no, the person who responds to LA Knight is none other than the faction's manager, the Wise Man, still being dubbed the Wise Man, Paul Heyman, who basically warns and does his classic little threatening of like, listen, you keep getting in our business, bad things are going to happen. LA laughs at the threat, and Paul Heyman does his classic line of like, listen, when I said bad things are going to happen, that wasn't a prediction.
Mm-hmm.
That was a spoiler, as BBL tries to attack from behind, minorly successful, but LA slips out, manages to get to the timekeeper's area, and arms himself with a chair to be like, back up, back up, get,
go on and get.
I mean, funny because Braun Breaker's character is basically act like rabid dog, which they don't let the rabid dog loose yet, as Aldis decides to take advantage of this and give LA Knight a match against Bronson Reed later tonight. Not against the rabid dog, but we will still see the rabid dog and his partner later.
Yes, and now we move on to your first semi-finals match
For Queen of the Ring opening the show in terms of matches.
You know what I was surprised about? You know how they're going to Columbus next week in Raw?
Yeah.
Why didn't you have the lady from Columbus wrestle on the Columbus show?
Don't ask questions they don't have answers to.
But yes, we see Asuka take on Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Asuka returning on Monday, picking up the win. Entering this match with that momentum. Well, Alexa had her match and now had to wait, so that momentum is kind of died down a little bit.
Yeah. But this match was honestly a banger. Like, absolute slogfest. Them pulling stuff out of their bag. And the chemistry showed because there was one spot where Alexa looked like she was going to go for a Twisted Bliss, but saw that and recognized Asuka was playing possum, so left the ropes and went back to a striking game after a roll up from Asuka. And it's like, awkward spot, but cool nonetheless. Because it shows like these two are pros and also know how each other work, which is like, give us some more of those spots, honestly. Like, possibly a little less awkward, but still like showcase like how veteran are these veterans.
Yeah, but Asuka picks up the win.
Yep. Alexa went for another Twisted Bliss. Asuka played possum a little bit better and got the knees up into her new finisher for the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and Asuka moves on to the finals, and I think she could take it.
Yeah. As a reminder, Asuka at Night of Champions will face the winner of Jade Cargill and Roxanne Perez.
That's going to be an interesting matchup.
Yes.
Also, in regards of like Roxanne is tangentially related, so that Liv injury.
Yes.
That
yes.
Who was supposed to come out and attack Liv during the match?
I do not.
Nikki Bella.
Ooh.
So they were definitely setting up that tag title match.
Yes, but it is reported that the injury will require surgery, which means she is estimated to be out for about 6 months. There is no reports of title vacage. They are possibly freebirding it to Roxanne from penciled in reports.
I think you saved Liv's return to the Rumble.
Mm-hmm. Saudi loves Liv.
I mean, they kind of have to.
It is in Saudi next year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fuck! Okay.
I mean, hey, Liv is like Saudi's top female worker from the work she's put in there.
Liv is the top female worker in WWE.
That's
fuck
also
you
true.
Mean?
That's also true.
She was going to have 3 concurrent storylines going on.
Yeah.
Like, bruh, she's the MVP.
People are comparing this situation that Liv's injury has put WWE in. Like, some people on the internet are comparing it to Jonathan Majors with Marvel, which is like, at least it's not a controversy that's causing it. It's an injury, but...
Yeah, I can kind of see that one thing happening, and now you have to scrap a whole lot of plans that you had. Yeah. Man, that injury sucks.
Yes. It was such a simple takedown, too, but it's just... Body decided at that moment, you need a break. Give out.
The perfect angle.
And now, speaking of injuries, there is another injury that has been revealed, and that is of Elton Prince.
Yep.
I don't know the exact injury, but he is out for a little bit. But the reason why I speak of Elton Prince is because he has a tag team partner who got attacked.
Yep. Kit Wilson was scheduled to have a match against one Aleister Black tonight just to showcase these two's potential a little more. As Aleister Black is making his entrance, Kit is hyping himself up in the ring, and all of a sudden from behind, none other than one Ron Truth Killings decides to put Kit in the STF, and basically officials come out trying to break it up, and Ron says, "Give me a mic," and he's like, "Cena, wait until the main event. Get your butt out here now."
Yeah, and here appears Cena.
Nope.
No?
No. More officials come out, and one like writing room member starts like talking Truth down, like trying to calm him down. They walk out, but Aleister Black is just like, what the just happened?
It's not the last we'll see of Aleister Black.
Nope. As we cut to commercial after this segment, and when we come back, the same person is talking down Truth, and he's like, look, you can't, like, I get this is WWE, but you can't solve everything with unnecessary violence. Which is funny.
What business are we in?
Yes, he's like, you already got Cena later tonight, that's the best we can give you. You don't need to go and attack innocents. Which is like, that's fair. But then Ron turns around, stares at Aleister Black, and he's like, look, Truth, I want to be your friend. You seem like a nice enough guy, and we all got beef in this mix with, Cena and everyone else. But your business doesn't have to collide with my business. And
random Damian Priest appearance.
Yep. Damian Priest pops out, separates Black and Truth, and he's like, Black, I'll talk to him. And he's like, all right. And Priest is like, Truth, basically repeating what the board members said, like, Truth, you can't go around attacking people. Like, you got Cena later tonight. It's like, and you're gonna get them. But after that, whether you get them or not, you can't be this mean, bad, violent guy. Like, the reason why you came back is because people smiled whenever you showed up. Heck, you got me to laugh a bunch, and you know how hard that is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, don't let Cena's change, don't let him change you. And they dap up and part ways.
I think Truth is gonna kill him.
We're gonna see a slaughter.
I think Truth is gonna murder Damian Priest. Because Damian is working injured, so I think the best way to get him to recovery is write him out.
Yeah.
And anyways, you're gonna have an influx of talent coming up, so time to showcase some younger talent.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that Damian's old, but showcase younger talent, please.
Yeah.
Next, we get a really awkward promo.
Yeah. So, Cody's music hits. He does not get a single word in this entire promo. As next up, Jay comes out. And
It looks like Cody is about to speak. And then Jay goes, one more time.
Yeah. And then Jay basically says, like, look, mate, we friends. We've been through a lot together. We went through a whole War Games match together. We were tag champs together. We are both former world champs. But when it comes to Monday and who's moving on in this tournament and probably winning the whole thing, 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. I do it bad, I know. I'm white. I'm white AF.
You sounded like a Tuscan Raider. Yeet. So
Next up,
here comes Sami Zayn.
Yep, and he's like, he comes out and is like, look, I'm glad that this tournament is filled with people I consider friends, and that my potential opponent is, dare I say it, 2 of the best people in this business. But you got a world title to your name? You got a world title to your name. I have a purpose to win this, as I'm trying to get one under my name. And cue
The 15-time world champion.
14.
14 time.
Yeah. Looking for 15, and Sammy's opponent, Randy Orton, being like, look.
No, not happening.
Yeah.
Not at my expense, at least.
Yeah. He's like, he goes around and is like, Cody, I love you. I'm glad you finished your story. Time for me to get a next step up. Jay, you're great. You talk about the whole 4 letters, 1 word, but if we meet in the finals, it's going to be 3 letters, 1 move.
Yep.
And Sammy, I mean, let's just do this right now.
Yeah, the news came out regarding Jey Uso's title reign.
apparently internally reported like it was always supposed to be that short. Literally,
They gave him Seth Rollins, Logan Paul, Gunther.
yep. And the only match that ended with no interference is that Gunther match. Literally, reports are them being like, "We heard the internet and we're like, fine, here you go."
Oh yeah, here, damn.
Yeah,
No, but yeah. So it really sucks for Jay that they gave him the short reign, but it's better to have a short reign than not have a reign at all.
yeah.
Think of it like this: there's people out there whose favorite superstar is Kane. And do you want to know how long Kane held the WWE Championship for? One night.
Yeah.
So yeah, just be glad.
Yeah.
It could be one night. Granted, I didn't want it to even go on for a month, but that's beyond me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we get Randy versus Sammy. And
This match felt like it went on forever. It was a good match. It cooked, but holy, it felt like it had 5 commercial breaks with how long it was.
the best part of the match is the ending. Sammy goes for a haluva kick, and Orton just snatches the man down. He just goes, nope.
Yep.
RKO, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Sammy. You're not going to be a world champion this time.
No. And it's funny that unless they make Sammy v. Cross at Night of Champions, because they did confirm they're gonna squabble, it's weird that Sammy's not on a Saudi card.
They're doing shows in Saudi.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be there. It's just... So, logically, he would go on to the finals in this scenario.
Yeah.
Who do you have face him in the finals?
I feel like this caught... I feel like people did not like who these final 4 were for storytelling-wise. Like, these 4 are good in ring, but storytelling-wise, the 4 baby faces being the 4 semifinalists wrecked people's perspective. Because it's like, it basically confirmed it's either going to be Randy and Cody in the finals or Sammy and Jay in the finals.
The tournament needs a heel. Tournament needs a heel.
Yes.
It is so bad when a tournament ends and it's face versus face. It is the most...
Yes. Which is why people were like, have Sammy and Jay in the finals, and that's where we get a Sammy heel turn, because he's hungry for that world title.
Yeah, I saw a tweet that said, we're in a never-ending cycle of Sami Zayn that said, struggle builds character. Struggle builds character. Struggle builds character.
If only Gunther could have that monologue. Or mantra.
It is so bad how they're booking the men's. So, if you don't know why it's such a bad thing, when you look at the men's War Games team last year, it was, or was it 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
So 2 years ago, it was Seth, Cody, Randy, Jay, and Sammy.
Yeah, people...
And now the top 5 male stars on Raw and SmackDown across. Seth has the Money in the Bank. Cody is a former world champion.
And King of the Ring tournament semi-finalist, possibly finalist.
Jay is a former world champion and current semi-finalist in the King of the Ring tournament. Randy Orton is a 14-time world champion and in the finals now. And Sammy, former IC champion.
Randy's a 2-time King of the Ring tournament finalist because he was a finalist last year.
Yep. It's like, it is very obvious that we might get Randy v. Cena again. Or it's Cody Cena 2 at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Which I wonder why you put that on a SummerSlam card. Don't save that for Mania. Even though I hate the idea of doing back-to-back things of Roman, Cody, and then Cena Cody.
That's the thing, is that Cena's only got till December, so it's like the latest he loses the title is Survivor Series.
Well, they have that show in December for him. But, yeah, they fumbled the men's bracket so hard, dude. They fumbled it so hard. Just with the inclusion of Jay in the bracket.
They've effed up the world title scene so hard for both brands.
Yeah, because now we have Saturday night's main event and we have Goldberg potentially winning.
Yeah. But it's like, Cena's holding one world title hostage, so it's like, no matter who they feed him, you know he's probably not losing it until Cody wins it back, because that's the story they're telling. And then Jay seemed like a decent call to be like, we need a world title holder that's, you know, can be a decent storyteller, have decent opponents. Then you give it back to Gunther, whose first opponent is Goldberg, which is like, Gunther's title reign, I'll say it, was mid AF.
The reason why it was mid, they didn't let him play with the top stars. They treated him as if he was in the mid card. And I don't think you fully realize that. He never faced off against Seth. He never faced off against Punk. He was facing off against Jey Uso, Damian Priest,
and Jobbers.
And I think Finn Balor for one match. Like, bro, they did not let him touch the upper stars. That is why his reign sucked ass. Sure, was it the best title reign we've seen? No. But I don't think it was the worst. I think sitting through Jay's was worse. We had Seth, the first night after he won it, face him on Raw. And that was cool. That was the good start. And then we had Logan Paul next, and that was shit. Then we get 2 back-to-back tag matches that he's in, which is shit. And then we get a Gunther match in which he loses. I'm sorry, Jay was a weak world champion. Probably the weakest reign we've seen of the Triple H era, other than Drew McIntyre's 5-minute reign. It was the weakest showcase of a champion.
I might disagree. Cause when you think about Jay's last feud, like Gunther, like I brought it up on why Jay had to win it, is because Gunther was losing breath against Akira, Otis. Jimmy's actually building himself on the card, but Jimmy still, it's like, he never won clean. He never won on his own against Damian. So it's like, Gunther, despite his IC run, we were looking with rose-tinted glasses, because like his reign sucked.
Triven, the people that you mentioned that he's gassing out against: Jimmy, former multi-time tag champion; Otis, former tag champion, former Mr. Money in the Bank. Granted, how much I hated his Money in the Bank briefcase run, because he didn't even cash it in. He lost it in the match. He still held it. They still gave it to him. And Akira Tozawa is a former cruiserweight champion. I'm sorry, he's gassing out against former champions. I would expect a champion to gas out against a former champion. Especially with Gunther's style, which his is more, I'm going to put my whole body force into this hit. That is going to tire you out more. Especially, you should know this as a martial arts person. The more strength you put into a punch or any striking move, you're going to exhaust yourself more. And he does a lot of submissions too. So that exhausts yourself more too. But yes, I see how you can think it's a weak reign because of who he got gas out against. And because he never won a match clean. But would you say Dom's NA title reign was weak because he never won a match clean? I think it was a strong run. It's better than the run he currently has as champion.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of people, like Punk's reign when he was a heel for 434 days. A lot of those, he did not win clean. Now, are you going to say that's a bad reign because of that? No.
I feel like it's also just a bad reign because of how I feel about Gunther's character. It's like they don't.
Well, you're bringing a subjective thing
Yeah.
into it. I mean, I guess this whole thing is subjective.
Yeah.
But I feel like you liking someone, like,
No.
the reason why
I feel like the storytelling with Jay was better than the storytelling with Gunther.
I don't think so. He only had one proper feud, or two feuds with the title, but one of them was Logan Paul. And that was like a 3-week build-up, and most of the time, Jay was laid out on his back.
Well, most of Gunther's feud with Damien, he was laid out on his back.
Yeah.
They equally had shit runs,
No.
in my opinion.
In your opinion, I think Jay's was worse than Gunther's.
Yeah.
I don't think Gunther's was good, but it was not as bad as Jay's. It's not worse than Jay's. But we'll move on to another title reign that people think is equally as bad as both of theirs, and that is Tiffany Stratton with the Women's Championship.
Yeah.
Mainly because repetition. And what is that repetition? That is Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton.
Yep. However, this match has a definitive stipulation where it's like, Nia, you can't whine after this match anymore, as the stipulation is the last woman standing.
Yep. And then Nia and Tiffany start to brawl.
Yep.
Nia annihilates Tiffany.
Yep.
And then we hear proceed with caution.
Yep. Naomi tries to cash in, gets pulled out from under the bottom rope, tries and tries, but Nia keeps stopping her until Naomi's on the apron being like, let me do it!
And then Tiffany.
Drop kick!
Yep. Naomi goes flying into Nia, and Tiffany holds up the title and ends out the segment. I think we see the title reign next week. I think we might, because after a last woman standing match, after a last man standing match, you're just going to be exhausted.
Yeah.
Especially if you're taking out someone like Nia. I think they're going to do like a classic pile up on Nia so she can't get up. Like, that's going to exhaust you. And then you just have Naomi come pick the bones clean.
Yeah. Unless they do a spot where Naomi tries to cash in the middle of the match and she gets taken out by someone.
Maybe Jade.
Yeah. Because we've seen cash-in attempts in the middle of last man standing matches before. Brock Lesnar v. Roman Reigns, Austin Theory tried to cash in the middle of that match.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got punched out by a professional boxer.
Yeah, he got punched out by Tyson King.
Yup.
Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
That's who it was. Yeah, no.
Which is like, oh.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah. So it's like, that could be the spot that happens, because I can see them wanting Naomi to cash in on probably, well, no, it's interesting, because with Asuka in the mix now, people aren't on the for sure side of Jay winning Queen of the Ring anymore.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was going to say. The only thing is, now with Asuka in the finals, I don't know if Jade's winning, because I don't think you give Jade the win over Asuka. So maybe we see Naomi hold it a little longer. I mean, I wouldn't mind having both briefcases held for a long time. It's just they have to creatively work it in. Yeah. They have to make it make sense and have it be good.
Like the reign I am most excited for because of his 5 seconds of screen time threatening Cena is Seth's. Because he's made it apparent, like, I don't give a frick what world title I cash in on, but I'm gonna cash in on one when you least expect it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he made a statement. Naomi is like, I know the title I want to cash in on. I'm making it blatantly obvious.
Yeah. And now we get a match that was kind of out of nowhere. Charlotte Flair versus Chelsea Green.
Yeah. And you could probably tell by the names of these two people who won it.
Yeah, Charlotte won.
Yeah.
As soon as she locked in the figure 8 and got it bridged.
Yep, Chelsea taps. Charlotte waits for the bell to ring to let go like a good wrestler.
And so Piper Niven runs in and fucking
Standing senton on Charlotte while she's bridged.
Which, the most interesting way to do it, instead of, going horizontal, she went vertical.
Yup.
She said, I'm going to lay across you like I'm landing right on top of you. Wow.
Yup. So they
Nervous, start jumping her shit.
Yep. And then
Alexa Bliss.
Yep, comes and makes the save. Chelsea tries to get a couple last strikes on Charlotte, but Alexa puts her in the Sister Abigail DDT while Charlotte makes sure she's clear to do that by clearing out the Hervis. DDT hit, and Charlotte and Alexa stare at each other. Alexa extends a hand of friendship, and Charlotte dips.
Yep. I think they should do the women's tag tournament, man. Because you can set up so many stories in a tournament that it's not even funny. Like, I don't think people understand how good of a writing device a tournament is.
Yes.
So
it's why animes do it so often.
Charlotte and Alexa could run through, if we do 16 person, that's what, 4 rounds?
Yeah.
So they could run through the first 2 rounds, get to the semifinal, have a minor miscommunication, and boom, you have a story set up right there. What happened? What's the fallout of it? But I think we're just gonna get Roxanne filling in for Liv, and they lose at Evolution.
Yep. Speaking of friend/enemies falling out, Solo and Jacob in a very good segment, probably second best promo segment of the night, honestly. Holy, I loved this segment.
Yep. Solo comes out with JC Mateo.
No, he said JC stay back.
I thought JC was out there, though.
Nope, he comes out later.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So Solo's out there, and
because he wants one-on-one time with Jacob. He wants to send the message of like, look, man, I'm not looking to make you an enemy. I'm here because he says this in the promo being like, he basically says like, I'm alone, man. Like, I betrayed my family and then I got a new family. And then as soon as I lost that Ulafala, everything fell apart. It's like, I try to make a name for myself. Everything's falling apart. But look, I made you who you are. Like, no one wanted you. No one was calling you. No one was texting you. No one was hiring you until I made that phone call and brought you in. Now look at you. And he says, like, Jacob, I did all this because I love you. I want you back, man. Just, we ain't got to squabble. We ain't got to fight. And Jacob thinks about it a little bit and responds with saying like, you love me? You really love me? Are you sure it's me you love? Are you sure you just don't want to use me to get power? To get respect? To get gold?
Yeah, Solo just wants to be Roman. It's very apparent that Solo just wants to be Roman.
Yeah. He's like, I helped bring tag titles back to the family. I got the US title on me now. And he lays it out and being like, listen, I know who you really are. So if you want power, if you want gold, come take it. Right now. And Solo ponders a little bit and goes for the spike. Jacob catches it, headbutts the F out of Solo, goes for basically to Tekken combo the man, and that's when JC comes out. That's when the squabble happens, and Jacob's outnumbered, but being beefy, being strong, but he's still outnumbered, gets to the corner.
Uso!
Out of freaking nowhere, Jimmy Uso getting back in family business, making the save, giving Jacob enough recovery time for him to be the werewolf he is and beat the snot out of the other two.
And a little tentative stare off between Jimmy and Jacob.
Yep, being like,
Can
we
trust
allies?
each other?
Yeah, it's like, are we allies or do we just have a common enemy?
But yeah, it's made official. Solo versus Jacob Fatu, your United States champion, for the United States Championship.
At Night of Champions.
And this might be one of Solo's best matches.
It
I
absolutely
think Jacob
will be.
is going to give him one of his best matches like Cody did.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to a Solo Sikoa match.
Yes.
I do like the logic that Solo used of, I'm alone, man.
Yes.
It's like, I've tried everything and I've just fucked it up.
Yeah.
I like it because it makes him more of a human and less of a cartoon villain, which I felt
Yes.
like he was. And now they're giving him segments where he's actually being funny. He's actually allowed to be himself.
Yes.
And that's humanizing him more.
And that's the thing, is that both men in this segment looked like they were on the brink of tears. It's like Solo especially. He's like, there's some honesty behind this segment right now of like, it's like, I came into this business in a faction with my fam. Now I gotta do everything by myself.
I think Champions is next week, right?
Yeah, next a week
Saturday.
from today as of recording.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I have to predict.
Yeah, gotta defend that. But now, into the match that was made at the beginning of the show and is very late on the card, we have LA Knight versus representing the faction that has yet to have a name.
But representing BBL.
Yeah, Bronson Reed. Big.
Bronson Reed.
Yes, and he...
Gonna hit a tsunami.
Yes, and he was big. He was bad. He indeed hit tsunamis.
Hey, yo.
There is that guy that rewinds frame by frame just to see if there's a nut slip on the guys.
No. They did the SummerSlam kickoff today, which I don't know why you're doing the kickoff when the show's in fucking August.
Most of them are LA Knight.
No, so they
He does wear tiny trunks.
so fucking Jay's on there and he says, I got Gunther coming from behind me, and the audience goes, hey yo. It's like, come on, hey yo.
Yeah, but this match is honestly good. Heel faction's gonna heal. Braun Breaker does get on the apron to distract LA. LA does punch the F out of him. And the match continues until Braun recovers, climbs the ropes, and spear! Causing the DQ. LA Knight is broken in half, but the faction's like, nah, send the message. Bronson holds him up for a fully sped spear. And then
You get not one, not two, but three. Tsunamis!
that was good.
Thank you.
Yeah, but we said this with Sammy back when Bronson Reed got introduced to the faction, but for the moves he took especially, if LA Knight ain't out for a couple weeks, he is Superman.
I think they're giving the wrestlers in kayfabe super soldier serum. Like, they have to. Because the amount of shit they're taking from this group and they just appear next week like nothing happened.
It's like Seth started coughing blood at 3 tsunamis and then ate 3 more. LA Knight took 2 spears and 3 tsunamis. You ain't on the same level on the card or power level as Seth, LA Knight. Sit a couple weeks out.
Sammy took what? 3 spears and 3 tsunamis? And then he was back the next week with just taped ribs.
No, he took 3 spears, and that's when Bronson Reed came into the faction. Yeah, but it's like still 3 Braun Breaker spears at 23 miles an hour. You should have been dead.
Yep. And now we get another match that ends, weirdly,
In another DQ.
in another DQ.
But it is your main event of the evening. It is the match that almost happened earlier in the card. One Ron Truth Killings versus the GOAT, the Unseen 17, the last real champion, John Cena.
Gracing what? We were in Richmond?
No,
I
wait.
think we were in Richmond.
We were somewhere in Michigan, not Richmond though.
Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids, there we
Was
go.
in Grand Rapids for the last time with his appearance.
Yep. And reminder, this match is technically not for the title. It is just Ron out for blood. And he got some blood. Like, he was all the offense this match. Like,
He was whipping Cena's ass.
yep, Cena rolls out to the ring, grabs the title, and decides, nah, I ain't giving you the satisfaction. And Ron was just like, nah, get your back
Get
here.
your ass back in here, boy.
Yep, Ron leaves the ring to chase Cena, squabbles up, gets a couple hits on before Cena hits his classic bap with the belt, causing the DQ. Looks like he's hungry for more, but then
And CM Punk comes down for the save.
yep, and Cena is just like, ain't no way he's showing up tonight. Oh, frick, he showed up tonight! And
Yep.
runs.
Gets back to the ring.
Yep. Gets in position for a belt shot, hits it, and is like, I need to send a message. Grabs a snap into a Slim Jim table.
What are they doing, man? He puts Punk through the table.
Yep. And this segment is all yours as you took notes. Delivers a promo of all promos.
It's pretty much a 1-to-1 recreation of the pipe bomb. And I have the quotes. So if you don't know CM Punk, 14 years ago?
Yep. Before their Money in the Bank match.
Funnily in the match, it was with R-Truth that Cena lost via DQ because he got put through a table. Or won via DQ because he got put through a table. CM Punk goes on to drop probably the best, most recognizable promo in WWE.
I
at
think
least
the
in the 21st century.
Yes, I think the most viewed promo on the internet to this day.
And Cena, pretty much word for word, except for the Vince McMahon family stuff, goes at Punk. And I will just read you, I think, some of the key quotes that we've got from this. So the beginning, if you don't know how it began, Punk, as you lay there and you're most uncomfortable, I hope you can listen. I hope you can digest. First things first, I don't hate you. I don't even dislike you. I like you. I like you more than anybody you've shared a locker room with. Hinting at the multiple issues that he's had in the AEW locker room.
Yup.
I hate this idea of you, this idea that you're the best in the world. You're not. I'm the GOAT. He then goes on to say, you change your values as much as I change my t-shirt. You're just a loudmouth opportunist who will step on the neck of people who actually work hard if it gets you ahead. And then he goes on to mention and bring up Claudio Castagnoli, who was formerly Cesaro, Nick Nemeth, and Matt Cardona.
Formerly Dolph Ziggler.
And if you don't understand that reference, Punk said, hello, Nick Jackson, hello, Matt Jackson, and hello, Colt Cabana. And Nick is Nick Jackson, of course. Matt Cardona is filling in for Matt Jackson, who are the Young Bucks. And then Claudio Castagnoli is filling in for Colt Cabana. So I thought that was a pretty cool illusion. And then we also get, remember who gave you the stage for your pipe bomb and what have you done since then? You've regurgitated the same 5 microphone moves of doom. Your promo potato salad. You're not the voice of the voiceless. You're a millionaire despite yourself. You're not against TKO. You are Mr. TKO. He said, "Your tweets are strong, but your actions are weak." And I think that is my favorite line of the promo. And then he says, "Thanks for letting me rip off your promo and make you look even more foolish to end out the night." He also then does go on, well, that's the last thing he says, but he says, "USA, you can thank me for the extra 2 minutes and you can keep the pipe bomb on me." And yeah, that is probably the best Cena has performed as a heel. He got rid of the fucking annoying voice where he's just kind of yelling all the time. He basically did a good I mean, granted, you were reciting pretty much word for word what CM Punk said.
Mm-hmm.
But also it has to be said that Cena is good enough on the mic to make it his own. I feel like his pipe bomb is not the same as Punk's.
No.
Punk's was way better.
Yeah, Punk.
Cena's is good.
Yeah, Punk was attacking the company. Cena was attacking the man.
Yeah. But it does go to be said that Punk has given some people the best, rivalries. MJF, he gave a really fucking great rivalry.
Yep.
Drew McIntyre gave him his best rivalry in WWE.
It won the Slammy for rivalry of the year that year.
And now with Cena,
made his heel turn mean something.
And Cena also laughed and he said, "Look, these people know it. It's very obvious that the face turn is coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
Very clear it's coming soon. Because I think they definitely want him to end out as a face.
Yes.
Especially because Rock has not been mentioned since Chamber. So I think they're just moving away from that storyline.
Yeah. And literally this was his best heel promo since his breaking up with the crowd promo, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like that initial, I'm a heel now promo of I don't need any of you. This pipe bomb tops that.
Yeah, I think this also doesn't close the door on Truth because he lost via DQ. I think we get one more match. And I don't know where we go from there, but that's it from this episode of Smackdown. Next week, we have the women's title match, Last Woman Standing. We have a tag team title match with the Street Profits versus the YS6. And
we also have a U.S. title match.
Yep, and we have a U.S. title match.
Women's U.S. title.
Yep, and that is Julia versus Zelina Vega. And good night, Zelina Vega.
Yeah.
But that is
possibly good night Profits too.
Nah, maybe. I don't think so. But this is it. This has been it from us here at Disqualified. I am your main roster predictions champion. Reminder that is a 2-time champion. That is your NXT predictions champion, Trevin. Oh, I forgot to say my name. I'm Caleb. I do that every time. And that is our producer behind the camera, Zach, who is beltless currently. But be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell 3 times so you know the match is over. And we will see you next time. Thank you for your time. Peace.
Bye.